Good evening and welcome to the Municipal Safety Meeting this evening, Thursday, June 27th, 6 p.m. in the Wigan Auditorium. We have one item on the agenda this evening. It is a motion to have Captain Richards come up and speak regarding traffic flow issues on Monroe Street and surrounding areas due to the car wash. And what I'd like to do this evening is we'll start off with the Ward Councilor, Councilor Peach. Let me back up a minute. Present committee members, including myself as chair, Councilors Daigle, Councilor Higgins, and Councilor Rosignol, and sitting in for Councilor Gamache tonight will be Ward 2, Councilor McGinn. That being said, I'd like to start off with Councilor Peach, followed up with Captain Richards to address any issues that he has addressed already, and then we are going to open it up to public comment from members of the public that are here this evening. I just ask you to come up, speak into the microphone, and state your name and address when you do come up and share your issues. And then we'll have Captain Richards come up again to address anything that you may have raised, the public may have raised that hadn't been addressed already. So that being said, Councilor Peach.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I asked Councilor Gould to make this motion on my behalf a couple months ago. As the council may remember, we approved a special permit for vacuums for the car wash, which has been a long-standing car wash for many, many years. It used to be the Peabody car wash. At that time, we had discussed changing the direction of Monroe because the entrance to the car wash went from a split from the front to the back to rear entrance only, which is a big difference from what it was previously. The neighbors at the time didn't want to make that change, changing how we get to downtown out back to our houses from the Salem direction. So, but the traffic has been a lot, and I believe Captain Richards can attest to the number of calls the Peabody police have received. I've spoken with several police officers who have been dispatched down there simply to observe what's going on, to try to make it a safer situation. But this is something that's happening, especially with the nicer weather, every single week where people can't get out of their driveways. They can't get back to their houses, and this isn't something that happens for 20 minutes, it's something that happens for hours on end. So I'm happy that we're having this meeting tonight, and we have some members, neighbors from this community that can speak more on what they've been going through. But I'd like to hear what Captain Richards recommends as far as any changes to help, hopefully, with this situation.
Thank you, Councilor Peach. Captain Richards, could you address this issue and what's going on and what you've done to date, please? Thank you.
I can. This is clearly it's an issue for the neighborhood up behind the car wash, with the cars now being directed up Central Street, Elm Street, Monroe Street. They're cutting down Elm Court, they're cutting up Monroe Court, speeding through the neighborhood trying to get to the car wash, and it's putting a lot of traffic in that neighborhood that does not typically have a lot of traffic in it. In the beginning, one of my suggestions was to make Monroe Street a one-way the other way instead of southbound, northbound. So all the traffic for the car wash would stay on Hardy Street, take the left, go right into the car wash, go out front onto Central Street and be gone. There wasn't an appetite, I don't think, for it then, but I think given the current conditions and the circumstances that are around this area now, I think that would be the easiest and swiftest solution to this problem, is to just flip-flop the one-way on Monroe Street from southbound to northbound. And I think that would alleviate much of this problem, and I think over time, the people that live in the neighborhood will come to understand that it's probably the best way to do it.
So with the fans, could you repeat that? You want to flip it from south to north on Monroe Street?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Monroe Street right now, it's a one-way southbound from Elm Street down to Hardy Street. I want to flip-flop it and go from Hardy Street northbound up to Elm Street. So just take the one-way and reverse it. So that way all the traffic for the car wash will stay on Hardy Street, in the back of the car wash, and right back out to Central Street, and none of that traffic should end up in the neighborhood behind the car wash.
Thank you. Do you have anything else to share at this time before we open it up to the public?
No, just our monitoring the situation and seeing the issues and hearing from the neighbors and watching what was going on over there. It's evident that there's a problem over there, and I think this will be the solution to take care of that problem.
Thank you, Captain. This time, I'd like to open it up to the public. If there's anything else you would like to add that Captain Richards hasn't addressed or Councilor Peach has not addressed, would you like to come right up to the podium, activate the microphone, and state your name and address into the record, and then tell us what your concerns are? Right up here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Doran. I live at 5 Monroe Court. There is a big sign at the beginning of Monroe Court from Central Street, and it has a big red arrow, and it's telling them to go down our street, and everyone is afraid that, well, they assume it's a one-way, and there's a really dangerous curve halfway down that street. I have kids, I have animals. Our cars have been hit. They go speeding down that street, and there's a blind corner, so anybody who's coming the opposite way, it's like head on. So I think that sign needs to be removed. It's a big red arrow pointing that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to share their concerns, members of the public? Captain Richards, would you like to address that?
I would. If I heard bits and pieces of it, it was hard to hear, but I think all the signage that's out there now directing the cars up to Elm Street and all these back ways in, that will all be removed. And then the signage will simply point them down Hardy Street and up the other way up Monroe Street. So all that signage should go.
Okay, folks, did you hear that? I know it's hard to hear in here with the fans, so all those signs are going to be removed. So thank you for sharing that. Any other members of the public? Sir, come on up. Activate the microphone and state your name and address into the record, please.
Yes, I'm Gary Fleming from 8 Walnut Street. I just wanted to mention that is a good solution. I would prefer, I know it probably wouldn't happen, to make the entrance back in the front. And I just wanted to add there's a noise issue back there. Every time the machinery starts, there's a loud buzzing noise and an announcement. So basically, several times every day you hear, please put your vehicle in neutral, foot off the brake. I mean, it used to be a nice, quiet neighborhood, and it's just aggravating. There's car washes. I've been going since the end of time, and everyone has. And they have a person in there with a sign that says that. So it's just aggravating. I mean, if you wanted to sleep past 7 o'clock with your windows open on a nice morning, or even sitting having coffee on a Sunday morning, all day long, even with the windows closed in the winter, please put your vehicle in neutral, foot off the brake. And it's just, I don't think they need it. If that can be... so it was better when the entrance is in the front. I know it was a different car wash and a whole different series, but, they have the vacuums out front to draw in the monthly people. So I think they should accommodate the residents, because there are, 20 people in my building facing that way that have to hear that if you're sitting on your porch or have your window open, walking to the trash down in the garage, or even with the windows closed. So just wanted to...
All right, thank you very much. That's good input.
Should I push the
Thank
button
you.
again? Okay.
Anyone else from the public like to add? Yes, ma'am. Come right up.
Is it? Yep. Ah, okay. I apologize in advance if this has already been discussed, but because it's so humid in here, my hearing aid is decided right now to act up. So I just wanted to say that I hope whatever changes are going to be made, that maybe they get readdressed in a few months, because we've noticed, John and I live at the top. I live at 2 Monroe Street at the top of Elm and Monroe. And we just say we don't have to watch NASCAR on TV. We have our own NASCAR now. They go around the corner and they fly down, and then you have cars flying up. And we tell people now who come to visit, don't let us know when you're here so we can make sure you safely get in the house. And it's stunning to me that I'm having this, that I have to say this, but I hope there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out, somebody. But I just hope that traffic is reinforced. I hope, if people are doing the wrong thing, I hope that somehow it gets stopped, because it's a very unsafe neighborhood now, and it was probably it was for sure a very safe neighborhood before. So thank you very much for your time. Excuse me.
Thank you.
Now, do I shut that?
Yes, Captain Richards.
I just want to address that real briefly. It's not all the car wash. There's a lot of construction going on Central Street that's causing cars to be trying to cut through to avoid the backup on Central Street, and that's going to go on for a while. So that's part of the issue, but that will resolve itself when that project is done. But that's causing some of this problem with cars cutting down Elm Street and flying through there is the construction project.
Council Pete? Oh, I'm sorry. Come right up. Another member of the public would like to speak. Just push the button on the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kathy Zonachek. I live at 7 Elm Place. And one more thing I want to add to, I know he mentioned that it's the construction as of late, yes, but this has been going on since last summer. My other concern in the neighborhood is the traffic on Hardy Street, which is a one-way street going up, but a lot of the people that use the car wash are coming down Hardy Street, and the elderly complex is right there. How nobody has gotten hurt yet is beyond me. It's just a speedy cut through. Everybody comes out onto Central Street the wrong way. That's all I need to add to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Being none, yes? Mr. Terenzoni?
It's on, right? Good to go. Dan Terenzoni, 35 MacArthur Circle, Peabody. I own 2 Monroe Court down here, and I have tenants down there. So I'm just basically want to agree with Sergeant or Captain Richards. I think it's a nice, easy solution. There's really no easy way out of this. I think going that one way is it kind of keeps people coming off Hardy, going into where they want to go, and our little neighborhood can kind of be protected from that a little bit. It's going to be a little change, but it is what it is. We don't even have to go down to Central Street to get down, and we can go down Elm Place if you live in the neighborhood and kind of work your way there. So it kind of, in my head, for my tenants, I think it works for us to keep the neighborhood kind of there. Hardy Street's going to be developed with 12 units or 15 units on that one lot, and there's another thing downstairs in front of us for another lot, so it might get a little crowded down the road. I can't think of that right now, though. I'm just thinking my tenants can't get out of their driveway. So I think Captain Richards is spot on, so I just want to say that. No, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Terenzoni. Council Peach?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I agree with Captain Richards. I think that this is a solution to a problem that doesn't have any great solutions. And I understand that it's going to have an impact on the neighborhood, but hopefully the good is going to outweigh the bad, and I do believe that it will. In regards to the other issues that are ongoing with the car wash, with the noise, with the details occurring on Hardy Street, with the after-hour operation, I can go on. Those are being addressed separately, but I felt that this traffic situation that's impacting people in their day-to-day lives was important and probably the easiest thing to fix out of all of the issues that we're having. And as Mr. Terenzoni noted, there are proposed developments for the area as well that might not like this change, but it's my job to represent the people that currently exist in this neighborhood. And I think this is going to be a benefit and will protect that little neighborhood, and these cars that are currently for the last year have been coming through their neighborhood will no longer do that. They'll flow back out onto Central Street as they always have. So I'm not on the committee, so I would on a full council support a motion to change the ordinance.
Could you, do you have an ordinance you'd like to dictate, and Councilor McGinn can make the motion for you?
If you give me a minute.
Council Peach, I can give you a 2-minute recess if you like. I don't want to put pressure on you.
That'd be great.
All right, 2-minute recess. Thank you. Okay, we will pick this back up with Council Peach.
Okay, so the motion would be to draft and advertise, an amendment to section 19-141, line 33, to amend the line from southerly, from Elm to Hardy Street, to, and amend it to northerly, from Hardy to Elm Street.
So moved.
Council McGinn?
Do you already have the motion, or are you looking for the motion?
No, you can make the motion.
So
you.
moved, and on the motion, I would agree with Councilor Peach. It's not going to fix all the issues related to the car wash, but specific to the traffic pattern, I agree with her, and Captain Richards is the best option we have available to us, and I plan on supporting it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
And did you make the motion? You did make the motion, yeah. Just for clarification, this area abuts Council McGinn's area too, so hence why he's sitting in this evening. So on the motion, any other remarks on the motion? Being none, roll call.
Councilors Rossignol,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Daigle,
Yes.
Higgins,
Yes.
Manning Martin.
Yes.
Motion
And
carries 5-0.
thank you. And on that motion, just so folks know, there may be some unofficial changes, but the official ordinance change won't take effect until the end of August. So if you're looking for immediate change, you'll have to wait till the end of August for a council vote, okay? So thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilor. All in favor, any opposed? It's a vote.